Shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our powers. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rucha HaKodash, and give it up honors to the apostles and others of great millstone that have taught us this truth to the consequent well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem, Shai. Hey, peace, mercy, and blessings to the beloved icon that are out there pushing the words of Yahweh Hashem, Shai in truth and sincerity, that are not wavering to the left nor to the right, but constantly stand on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even shalom to the few sisters, the Agwabs that are out there, and even shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the other nations, but their seed line is going back into our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm the brother Iraq, coming back with another lesson to the Lord, willing, edifying, and be the lamb to the Lord, which I pray this lesson is edifying, concise, and straight to the point. You know, it's a late night, just doing it in transit, and just watching videos, checking a few things out, and apostles, especially Apostle Har, especially the elder brother that be with Apostle Ariamla, was going into AI, which is artificial intelligence, and you can see how AI is starting to get extremely smarter. At first, when you go to the videos and you'll put the transcription, the AI couldn't pick up on when we would say Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Now you got AI just picking up on the names of the Heavenly Father. You got AI that's collecting a whole lot of data. It's being fed with information, and all this information it's picking up, and it's singling out, different groups. Like the apostle been showing how, the AI ChatGPT can, go into which group is speaking about Abba Bivens, which we believe through the spirit is, Elijah coming in the reincarnation. All right, and ChatGPT is going into it. All right, which group goes into prophecy more, All right, so with this type of platform, different platforms, and AI and whatnot, it's all going to lead to persecution, all right, and Esau is, going to go to them type of measurements. All right, the accuser of our brethren at hand, and since AI is getting smarter and clearer, it's starting to become real. It's starting to look more real as it gets more upgraded. It's starting to look more real and realer. Even with the certain little videos that are being put up, some of that shit you could barely tell that shit is AI. Some of that shit you can barely tell is AI. Sometimes you gotta double look at it, like, oh shit, that don't even kind of look real, because from a surface level it do look real. But that show you how, like, when Esau had brought out the deep fake, the deep fake, well, that right there that's like an older version of what AI is capable of doing now, making things seem real when it's not, So Esau can use AI to make it seem like, you're a terrorist, or you're doing something that is, extremely against the government, and you're not even there. But it will look so real and convincible to the public that it'll seem like, something that you're doing that you're not. And, most people in the world, especially like people that know you, that know us, I'm speaking of like friends, family members, a lot of the individuals that know us, man, hey, it's not that they really hate us, it's that they hate Yahweh Shai, man. They hate Yahweh Shai. The scriptures speak about in John that the world hated the Lord before it hated us. All right, so it's prophesied that we're gonna have mothers, fathers, individuals that are part of our families and friends that we know that's gonna turn us in or sell us out because of the hate that they have towards us, and like said, most people you primarily hear this that comes out of like a woman's mouth that you might have dealt with, especially if she's angry with you. She might be like, "Oh, you part of that cult," which there's nothing wrong with a cult. A cult is just something that you worship, that you're into, alright. A woman can be a cult. You're so much into a woman that you become to worshiping her, alright. But you'll hear mostly women put it in a negative term, but you got most people that feel that way, that what we doing is they hate it, and they blame the reason why the things that's going on in the world because of, when in reality it's all part of Yahweh Shema Shai's plans, and we know it as a simple understanding that the Lord said he was going to take us out of captivity. He said he was going to deliver us from the hands of our captors, which is the nation of Edom that's ruling over us, the self-proclaimed white man. So that means that their kingdom has to go down in order for us to be free. And the Lord said these evil times would come, It has nothing to do with us. We're just the messengers. But you see how the world hates us. So, AI is gathering all this information and data, and particularly it's going to be used against us, and it's getting smarter and smarter. AI is definitely getting, smarter and smarter. It's getting fed all type of information. It's pulling up all type of records. Truly with AI, the internet can't be scrubbed. Which is a double sword. It's a two-edged sword. Because at the same time, while it's gathering information, it's also collecting information against those that created it. Those that are using it, these Edomites. So it's a double-edged sword. AI is bringing out information that is totally against Esau and exposing them. All right, but we know that that time is coming. But all these things are for our salvation. It's for us to rejoice in. It's for us to not be troubled. All right, because even when the Apostle Peter got casted into prison, he rejoiced. I forget who he was with, but he rejoiced. Apostle Peter rejoiced. And us being persecuted for the Lord's sake, that's something to rejoice in. Being persecuted for doing what's right, especially serving Yahweh by Shema Shai. Alright, and that time is going to come where we get persecuted for what we believe in. Our faith is going to be tried. The world's going to come up against us, but that's okay. All right, that's all part of prophecy. It's all part of prophecy. Give me a second. Let me see. Since I parked real fast, let me grab one precept. So I ain't gonna make this too long. But you could, you brothers see it for yourself. That AI is definitely getting smarter. Definitely getting smarter and smarter, you know? And it's picking up on everything. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. I know it's in the book of Acts that I'm looking for. Since I quoted, I'm gonna try to read it. This is yeah, bear with me for a second. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Here it is. This is Acts chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James the brother of John with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded forth to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread," the Passover. "And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people." All right, which is again is the Passover, Easter. All right, the Pesach. "Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the doors kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. Then he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did, and he said unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. So even Peter couldn't believe what was taking place and what was done. But an angel, came and got Peter out of prison. Okay? And these type of situations and scenarios are gonna happen for us, Akim. It says, when they were past the first and the second word, they came unto the iron gates that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of its own accords, and they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and have delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. So there you have it. All right. And there's going to be times where, they might throw us in a prison. Some brothers might get taken out of the prisons, but the Lord will have angels right there to keep us. So that's pretty much it, Akim. Lord willing, that was edifying. Shalom.